kick right in front of the goal, and it's in.
Back in, cuts to his forward, take the shot, he scores!
Good Thursday evening. Welcome to the Spencer Family YMCA in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. I am Matt Geica, and you're watching Pittsburgh Hockey Digest's continued presentation of PIHL hockey, another live broadcast here of Peters Township as the Indians take to the road with a 6-2 record, challenging the Bethel Park Blackhawks for the second time in 3 weeks. Peters Township playing just its fourth road game in its ninth contest overall in this AAA schedule. The ninth game out of 18 for PT, and the same deal for Bethel Park. So we're reaching the halfway point after the conclusion of tonight's game. Late night hockey on the 6th of December, so thanks for staying up with us. Peters Township in the red, as you can see right there on your device screen, and Bethel Park wearing the white with the black and the orange trim down to our left. Bit of a lower perspective here, a lot of a lower perspective here than it is at Printscape Arena at South Point. So we'll have a new view on the sport that we love so much as we look for Peters Township to try to extend its winning streak to 5 games. PT last Tuesday defeated its rival, Cannon McMillan, by the score of 3-2 out at Printscape at South Point. Previous to that, a 5-1 win at Bethel Park at home and victories against Erie Cathedral Prep and Butler. That's made up the winning streak that's boosted PT from 2-2 under head coach Rick Tingle all the way to 6-2 and just 4 points shy of North Allegheny for first place in Class AAA. As for Bethel Park, it's been a 2-game losing streak since Thanksgiving, the loss to Peters Township, and then a 3-2 defeat just this past week at Mount Lebanon. Bethel Park, in fact, had a 2-1 lead at Mount Lebo before giving up the final 2. But Bethel Park off to a fine start at 5-3. Third best offense, third best defense in the league. As for PT, it's the highest scoring team in Class AAA out of the 9 squads with 4 goals per game even. Giving up 3 goals per game are the Indians. Starting goaltender tonight for Peters Township, it'll be the junior Alex Wilbert as Rick Tingle goes back to the young man who helped him win a state championship in 2016. 2017. Brock Sharbaugh, the senior, had started 5 of the last 7, but it's Wilbert in net down to our right. And Nick Guimond for Bethel Park all the way down to our left. We're underway, 17 minutes loaded on the clock, and we're playing hockey here on this Thursday night, kicking off December for both of these teams. Centering play for Bethel Park, and Garrett Legg skitters all the way back out into the neutral zone, and it's scooped up there by George Tomko. Chip to the PT line, Jeffrey Poon back from injury, chips it ahead to Jeremy Anthos, who leads this team in scoring. Anthos on the left wing, gave it back to Luppy, cross-ring feed, here's Ryan Lee shooting, and the first save of the game made 34 seconds in. No further play down to our left. The Blackhawks 3-0 on home ice so far, and with Nick Guimond in net, with a 5-2 record and an .884 save percentage, they'll look to make that 4-0. The faceoff won by Peters Township. Aiden Alexander couldn't get the shot through, and up ahead come the Blackhawks with a chance. It's Vituccio toward the goal, and Wilbert had to make his first stop. Vince Vituccio, the leading scorer for the Blackhawks, with 8 goals in 8 games. But that time couldn't bury. Now that the Blackhawks try to work it out of their end, they'll bang it off the boards. But Hunter Ferguson steps up to crack it away from Vituccio. On the far side, it's Drew Wilbert. That second line there for Rick Tingle with Mark Lehman centering the 2 Wilbert brothers, and whistle and a penalty coming up. Interference is the call. And I was just about to say these are the 2 least penalized teams in Class AAA, and we have a power play just 1 minute and 10 seconds in. Hunter Ferguson is whistled for interference in the neutral zone. So Ferguson to the box. Peters Township will put its 8th-ranked penalty kill on the ice. The Indians have killed off 15 of 20 for a 75% rate. And Bethel Park with the second-best power play, 4 for 19, 21%. Ferguson, the junior, in the box for the next 2 minutes. Ryan Lee latches onto this puck and fires it right down for the clear. No score early on at the Spencer Family YMCA in Bethel Park. I'm Matt Geico on the call for you. As always, we've just missed one game so far this season on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest. That was PT's trip to Erie. Bethel Park can't work it into the offensive zone. They'll try again here. In front of us, Joseph Wondrisco taps it over to the near side wall. Defenseman Ryan McClendon rips it cross rink, and taking it there, J.C. Belly. Belly to the middle, took a weakened shot that Wilbert sticked away to the corner. Jeffrey Poon bangs it off the glass, and it bounces out off the body of Anthos. So far, so good for the PT penalty kill. 1 minute into this power play for Bethel Park. This is Luke McClendon, the forward. Ryan McClendon is the defenseman on this near side as well. Luke McClendon lifts it on back. Ryan goes down to a knee to hold it in. And right back to Luke. Luke fires one on goal. The lefty put it on target, and Wilbert patted it away, and we have a whistle. Stoppage and play on a hand pass. That'll bring the faceoff back out into the neutral zone. No score. 14:33 to go in period number 1 between PT and BP. It's the second of three meetings for these two teams this year. They'll close the regular season against each other on February the 19th. They played 2 weeks ago, these two squads down at South Point, and Peters Township scored the final 5 goals in a 5-1 win. Peters Township outscoring team 16-6 in the third. The first period's been an issue, though. Peters Township's been outscored by 6 in that frame, and they've scored only 3 goals total in their 8 games to date in the first period. Right now they're trying to survive an early penalty kill. The Blackhawks having some trouble with it. Worcester shoves it right by Lehman, who checks him. And again a clear for Peters Township. Eric Wilbert took care of the business in that instance, and that's it for the power play. Ferguson's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. On the intercept, McElhaney took the shot, pad save, rebound, they score! It's a first varsity goal in his first varsity game for Nick Sarcone, who pops it in with 13:40 left in the first. How about that? I was just about to introduce him because he stepped onto the ice, and PT's number 9 gets the job done on the rebound. McElhaney with the takeaway. He'll get the primary assist, and Sarcone feeds it into the open goal. 1-0 Peters Township. Just the 4th time all year PT scored the opening goal. They've been playing from behind a lot this year, but not tonight. As Sarcone went down in the neutral zone trying to charge ahead. No penalty called, though. Lee lunges ahead to swat the puck into the offensive zone again, but Bethel Park on the quick counter. This is Robert Abraham on the chip in. Jack Zakin for Peters Township frees the puck up. Sarcone's on that one, and Zakin escorts it through the neutral zone. Got by one man, put it into the middle for McElhaney, but it's blocked. Masari into the middle of the ice and jammed up ahead and down for an icing by Bethel Park. Excuse me for that. We have a mistaken identity. John Camp is actually number 9. He's wearing Sarcone's jersey. Camp's a call-up. As Coach Tingle goes to the junior varsity to fill out his lineup tonight. So Camp gets the goal. And now Jones will push it up ahead. Taken here by J.C. Belly. And over on the far wing, Garrett Legg hits the open man, Sean Merkel. Charges in deep. Merkel in behind the goal. Dispossessed there by Aiden Alexander. Brady Seekley returning to the ice as well. In addition to Jeffrey Poon tonight, he made a strong play off the wall and carrying through and dumping in Cole Szymanski. Szymanski put it behind the goal. That's where Jones was trying to find it. Could not. And Luke McClendon lifts it out of danger for Bethel Park. 12:14 to go in the first on Johnny Camp's first goal as a varsity player. He scores in the opening minutes for Peters Township. Juan Driscoll gunned it around the wood. Over there, Vituccio misplayed it, and here are the Indians and Poon, the senior defender, with a saucer backhand out to center. Luppy lifts it in the direction of the Bethel Park goal. That's where it's stopped by Guimond. Luppy on the charge here. Bethel Park not used to playing from its own end too much. They've outshot opponents on a 2-1 basis this year. As Ferguson takes the puck and crashed into hard in front of us by Vituccio. The puck comes loose, but Ryan Lee's there on it for PT. Here's Vituccio. The Bethel Park captain took a shot. Wilbert made the first save, had to make a second one too. Back to the point. Slapper goes off the toe of Wilbert from Jacob Lang. Good flurry of opportunities for BP, but the Blackhawks can't convert. Anthos unable to pull that one cleanly to his stick. Christopher Toth nudged it forward into the Peters Township zone. Ferguson partially fanned on that one. In behind the goal, it's centered here, and it never got through. Luppy blocked the chance from Toth, and a sharp angle shot coming on from Austin Reed is denied by Wilbert, and play stops with 10:53 left in the first. 1-0 Peters Township here on the road. PT so far has road wins at Erie, and Cathedral Prep that is, and at Catholic Central. The one against the Vikings, that came very early on in the first road game of the year out at Alpha Ice Complex in Harmarville. Jake Bush forces the puck up the far side kick plate, and it's taken on by Drew Wilbert, who bounces the puck in deep. Goes in behind Guimond, who looks over his shoulder at it. One of his defensemen knocked it away, but here's Owen Barrett to keep it for Peters Township. Couldn't get it much deeper than the hash marks, though, and it's ripped away, and coming back for a wrist shot was Reed that stopped by Wilbert at his feet, and he hangs on. Austin Reed, the one-man show down the left wing for Bethel Park. 10.5 to go in the first period. Shots are 8-4 in favor of the Blackhawks, but the Indians have the only goal. John Camp scoring it. Feeding it into the open cage. Owen Barrett over on this near wing. Jams it off the wall, and Eric Wilbert helps it out into the center ice area. On the charge back, Sean Merkel lost control as Bush cleared it to center. Barrett kicks that to his stick. Sharp pass over to Drew Wilbert, does well to take it, and now cross rink over here on the near side for Bush to dump in. Lively bounce off the end boards. Jacob Lang has it. Lang to the near side, and a sharp breakout here for Bethel Park. J.C. Belly with the dump and chase. And he sent Bush flying into the end boards. No penalty called there as Poon takes this on the intercept. Jeffrey Poon, who's been out for several games. Late blooming star last year for this varsity squad. Drew Wilbert takes it. Maybe he has a 2-on-1 if he hurries up. Puts it into the middle and a shot. Great save by Guimond on his brother Eric Wilbert. It was Drew to Eric, cross crease, and Eric robbed of a potential goal. Drew Wilbert's tripped up as he tried to come in over the line, but he had lost the puck, so I believe that's why there was no call. Icing here against Bethel Park. As Ryan Lee wipes out on the far side, he has a laugh about it. Referee Steen picks up the puck. Two-referee system in Class AAA. In PIHL, as always, they call the penalties and they call the lines. Do the two men in stripes. McElhaney having a strong first period. Takes it off the face-off and cracked it on net. I believe Guimond maybe got a piece of it. Hard to tell from this angle. Aiden Alexander on the chip play. Couldn't lift that rolling puck past Vituccio over on far wing. Vituccio pulls it free. Now it comes on for Juan Driscoll. Juan Driscoll and Vituccio working in the corner against Camp and Alexander for Peters Township. And Alexander rips it out of the crowd. McElhaney couldn't take the pass. McClendon put it on goal. Not that hard of a wrist shot from 45 feet away, and Wilbert makes the glove save. J.C. Belly for Bethel Park and Jeremy Anthos for Peters Township are the two scoring stars, at least the two that lead their respective teams. 12 points apiece for both. This is Josh Jones on the charge. Jones, a strong move to the circle. It comes free. Szymanski lost command, but now he gets it right back, and he filters it in behind the net. Jones trying to put it in front for Szymanski on the two-man game, but it's broken up and lifted out into the crowd. Bounces right in front of us onto the aluminum bleachers. Play comes to a stop with 8:19 to go in the first. PT up by a goal. And I was saying Belly and Anthos tied with 12 points. That's fourth in Class AAA. They're a couple behind Johnny McDonald of Cannon McMillan, who we saw in action last week against PT in that 3-2 Indians win. Cannon Mac had a hurting put on it, I should say, by Mount Lebo earlier this week. Wilbert swats away from the front, nearly had to make another save there. As Coe put it on net. Szymanski sent for a ride. Vituccio, he has a burr in his saddle to start this game. He's on fire for Bethel Park. Now he charges after Aiden Alexander over on the far side. Or pardon, that's Brady Seekley, rather. Couldn't get it out, could Seekley. And driven wide of the net and then put off the body of the goaltender by Matthew Lucido. So here come the Blackhawks with a sudden flurry. Now 9 shots on target in the opening 10 minutes of this period. Poon on the retrieval for PT. D over to Ryan Lee. Nico Watsula's pass hit a skate. So Luppy has to go chasing in the left corner. Ryan Luppy's on it first, the Peters Township captain. Over for Anthos, wanted to spin a centering pass on the backhand, but that was blocked. Luppy gave it to Anthos, one touch in front, and just a little bit away from Watsula. And out with it come the Blackhawks and Austin Reed. Forcing it down the kick plate, but he can't get it much further than the PT line. Christopher Toth on the intercept for BP, but he gave it right back to the Indians. And here's Poon. On the give across rink to Lee. Diagonal pass up ahead. Luppy's going to get there and beat out any possible icing call. Luppy, a blind pass to the front. Skipped right through the crease. Watsula to Lee. One-timer goes over the crossbar. Jeffrey Poon takes it off the wall. On the backhand relay, trying to find Luppy. It's taken from him, but Lee will hold and shoot toward the front. And that's off the knee of Ryan McClendon, who hobbles a bit after blocking that shot. Lee looks to lift it to the BP line, but that's intercepted by Reed, who will shoot in and get off the ice for a change. 6.5 to go in the first. Lee dispatches it just outside the line. Put right back in by Vituccio, but here's Lee with a strong outlet pass to Luppy, who gets it over the red line and shoots in. Shots are 11-5 in favor of Bethel Park. But the Blackhawks trail at 1-0 on a John Camp goal in the early going, right after PT killed off what has been to this point the only power play of the game. Jeremy Bueller couldn't hold very long for Bethel Park, and on the chase, here's Drew Wilbert. Wilbert in the corner, out to the point, Ferguson. Wristed one, didn't get through. Now Ferguson can't flag this. Pass down, and here comes Belly shooting, and it's off the shoulder of Wilbert and out of play. A strong wrister from J.C. Belly, looking for goal number 6, but he couldn't beat Wilbert high to the short side. 5:40 remaining in the first period. Alex Wilbert on the season, an .878 save percentage, a .376 goals against. This is 4th start in 9 games. He had the reins early, and then, as I mentioned, Sharbaugh started 5 of 7. Face-off coming up to our right. Mark Lehman will square off here against Vituccio. Vituccio won it, but Wilbert ends up with the puck. Out near the blue line, skates it into the safety of the neutral zone, and feeds it in. From that corner, down to the left, Thomas Worcester clears it for BP, but off a body, and into the bench. That'll keep the face-off on the Blackhawks side of the ice. Both teams able to complete a change. BP, the home team, gets the final change for Coach Jim McVeigh. PT won both meetings between these two teams last year, and the Indians, as I mentioned, prevailed 2 weeks ago at Princegate 5-1. Aerial pass from Ferguson. Inadvertently, it was deflected, was briefly flagged down by the Blackhawks, and then thrown to the net by Drew Wilbert of Peters Township. Lehman couldn't get to the rebound. Alexander could. Now Alexander's calling for that puck over on the far point, and he'll get it from Drew Wilbert. at the circle. Tried to center, and it's blocked by McClendon. That is Ryan McClendon. I'll try to be specific when I do mention that last name, much like I do with the Wilberts. And there are 3 on the ice tonight. Alex and net, Eric and Drew on the same forward line. Alexander on the back check, pins Toth to the boards. The puck swung around the far side. Stepping up and pinching in to get the shot off was Vituccio and melted down by Wilbert. 4.5 to go in the first. Vince Vituccio leads the Bethel Park squad with 8 goals, 10 points, puts him second behind J.C. Belly, who has 12. On Peters Township, also 2 players in double digits in points, as Wilbert looks at this errant shot behind his net. Anthos has 12, and Ryan Luppy, powered by a team-high 7 goals, has 11 points. Wilbert makes a kick save here on Juan Driscoll from the bottom edge of the left circle. Sharp angle shot didn't get through for Bethel Park. Trying to keep it in, unable to do so, was Worcester. The Indians have a free clear if they want it. And Camp couldn't get it out. I thought that would have been a delayed offside, but apparently the Blackhawks tagged up. Didn't appear they had time to do so, but I could be wrong. So the battle is on for it behind the Peters Township net. Luke McClendon out to the point. Long wrist shot, a high one from Bueller. And Vituccio couldn't flag it down. This was going to be offside against PT, but the Blackhawks clear. Vituccio runs right through Jake Bush and chops it high off the window. Indians get a free breakout as the Blackhawks are trying to change. Camp, who has the only goal in this game. Overrun, though, in the neutral zone by Tomko. But Camp, good second effort. He's got Jack Zakin on his flank, but he couldn't get it to him. Here are the Blackhawks with just over 3 minutes to go in the first. Down 1-0 is Bethel Park. Good pass here for Lucido. Shot it off the sprawling Wilbert, who fell backwards after making that save. He's been strong in this first period, has Wilbert. Bellet behind the goal. Off to Lucido, right back to Bellet. Bethel Park's number 17 tried to center. Cole Szymanski blocked it. Now Jeffrey Poon gets help from McElhaney, who spins it all the way down the rink for an icing call. Now 17 shots on net for Bethel Park. It was an early push for PT, but since then the Blackhawks have rebounded. Bethel Park determined to get back on the winning track. The Hawks have lost 2 in a row, both on the road. It's been home sweet home so far. At the Spencer Family YMCA, though, Seekley of the Indians over to Poon. His pass a little too far for Jones to reach onto, and it's not an icing call. It's ruled that Jacob Lang could have caught up to it by the referee on the far side. Jones shovels one on net sneakily, and Guimond has to hang on. 2:29 remaining in the first. The referees are Snyder and Steen this evening. While I have the chance, I want to offer a thanks to Lori Seekley, Bill Wilbert, Brian Mitchell, all of whom chipped in to make these broadcasts possible this year. And as always, the student workers from Peters Township Community Television. It's a cold one tonight, both indoors and out in Bethel Park. Cleared away from the front by the Blackhawks. And here's Garrett Legg. Well, he guided it briefly out into the neutral zone. The Indians put it right back into the mix, and that forces the Hawks to try to do it again. Lifted off the glass, and Jeffrey Poon stepped up to take it, but he couldn't stick handle his way to safety. Ryan Lee's back to get it for the Indians. Up to Watsula, and it clicks off his stick and out into neutral ice. Watsula on the take back. Good move to get around one man, but couldn't get around the second. That's Austin Reed, who lays a check on Poon, and now shot in by Garrett Legg. Blackhawks would have been offside, under 2 to go in the first period. Hawks tag up, but here's Anthos. One move and then lost the puck, but there's his buddy Ryan Lee to pick it up and shoot, and it's blocked. Gets it right back to Lee, and he scored! Ryan Lee followed his own shot to the right circle and roofed it from a sharp angle. 2-0 Peters Township with 1:28 to go in the first. So the Indians outshot, but they have outscored Bethel Park 2-0 to this point in the opening 15.5 minutes. And give Anthos credit for backing the Bethel Park defense off, and then Lee stepped right into that void and just kept on going. First shot blocked, second shot good to go over the shoulder of Guimond. 1:20 left, and the Indians off to a rollicking start on the road. PT in the red, Bethel Park in the white with the orange and the black trim. So it's Lee from Anthos. Give Anthos another assist. His team leading 13th point of the season, and now one off the Class AAA lead. A good hit here from Vituccio on Lehman. Two bodies collide. Vituccio is possessed tonight so far. Hasn't got anything going on the offensive end yet, at least not meaningfully on the scoreboard, as Drew Wilbert put it to the front of the net. And then Wilbert was cracked with a clean body check. The Bethel Park crowd down to my left loves it. Lehman looked to run Vituccio off into the wall, but Vituccio held his ground. Eric Wilbert, lead pass, look out, as Lehman had to reach to get it. Spun down to a knee was Lehman. Bodies flying everywhere in the neutral zone. Shot in by George Tomko. 30 seconds to go in the first. And a 2-0 Peters Township advantage. Lifted off the far side boards, and Lehman has some room. 3-on-3 rush, but it's not going to be much of a rush. He'll just shoot in from neutral ice. And Guimond, well, had some trouble picking that one free from his equipment. Finally did. Here's John Camp with the intercept in the neutral zone. 8 seconds to go in the first. Cross-ring pass from Bethel Park. It'll be Owen Barrett stepping up to flush it right back in. Down to 2-1, and that's it. As it's shot back into the stands here on the near side as the buzzer sounds by Ryan McClendon. So first period shots on goal, 17-9 Bethel Park, but does not indicate where this game is going on the scoreboard. 2-0 Peters Township, goals from Camp and Lee. For Ryan Lee, that's his second goal of the year, 5th point, the senior defender. Getting more and more into the attack as his varsity career continues on. So we'll take a short break here on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Facebook page. Thank you for joining us, and bring it on back for the second in just a moment from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Well, here we are back for the second period of play. Goal scorers in the first period, Camp and Lee for Peters Township. The Indians lead it 2-0 on the road. I am Matt Geika. This is Pittsburgh Hockey Digest continued coverage of PIHL hockey for the 2018-19 season. It's our 7th broadcast, or pardon, 8th broadcast actually, out of 9 games so far for the Indians of Peters Township. Defending regular season champions of Class AAA. And the Indians won the Penguins Cup and the state title 2 years ago in 2017. Ryan Lee on the chase back here. These South Hills rivals going at it. Bethel Park has lost 2 in a row. They did a lot of good things in the first period, but they could not beat Alex Wilbert, the junior goaltender. 17 for 17 in the first period. Very busy first period for him. Vituccio on the high hoist, bounces just wide of Wilbert, who guides it into the corner. Back there's Lee, reversing flow over to Poon. Lee and Poon, that's a top-of-the-line defense combination, no doubt, in this league. And good to see Jeffrey Poon back on the ice as Lee tries to clear to the front and does. Bodied up Vituccio and got a stick on the puck. Jones on the shoot-in for Peters Township, and the change is underway for the boys in red. Long lead pass, trying to catch him in that change are the Blackhawks. Luke McClendon, though, couldn't take it cleanly. But back for Vituccio from the sidewall. Shot it wide. Loose at the side of the net. And gunned over to the far wing. Stepping up was Abraham to try to push it on goal. Off for Vituccio, rolling puck at his feet. 15 minutes to go in the second period. Bethel Park down by 2. Lucido struggling with the puck now as Barrett closed down his space. And here's Anthos with some speed. Anthos got it from Luppy. In over the blue line. Jeremy Anthos shooting low. Oh, boy, it nearly got under Guimond, who didn't have that pad firmly placed on the ice at first, but the puck did not come loose, fortunately for him and the Blackhawks, and he holds for the whistle on PT's 10th shot of the game. Peters Township scored on 2 of 9 in the first. That's a fine shooting percentage. That'll win you a lot of games. Anthos wins the draw. Watsula. Cross rink over to the point. Ferguson shot it below the goal line. Luppy wanted to go to Anthos, but it was intercepted back there by Worcester. Alexander put it through bodies. Watsula shooting deflected over the top of the net by Luppy in the slot. The Indians captain using some sleight of hand. Now he feeds it over to Anthos, who's open. Dropped it on back instead for a bouncing shot from Ferguson that never got through. Ferguson gets it again. A couple of times the puck is following Indians defenders in the offensive zone. It led to a goal for Lee in the first. This time Ferguson, for the third time on the shift, has the puck on his stick, and he just dumped into the corner. Lehman takes it away from a Blackhawk. Put it in front, did Lehman, a backhand, and a save made by Guimond on Luppy. Here's Luppy in the corner. Turns one way and then the other. Lost control, but he put a hit on Tomko at least, as Tomko got rid of it, and it's an icing call against the Blackhawks with 13:57 remaining in the second period. Coming up next for Peters Township, next week, still 2 games to go before the Christmas break. PT will be back on home ice as the visiting team, technically, against Cannon McMillan. Yes, another matchup against the Big Macs, the third and final of the regular season. Ryan Lee on the chase back here as we return to live action. Lee against Schreiner of Bethel Park. Getting some help back there. From Wilbert was Lehman. Now Lehman tossed that into the Bethel Park bench, and a whistle and another stoppage in play. So next Tuesday against Cannon Mac, and then 2 Tuesdays from now, PT will host Central Catholic at Princescape. It's the only game in a 5-game stretch for the Indians that's not at home, in fact. Poon gets it out of his end and slipped right by everybody. So this will be an icing the other way. They'll bring it on back. Will the referees? Well, PT has gone a long way toward turning around their fortunes in the first period. Tonight winning it 2-0. They had been outscored 7-3 in the first 17 minutes. Again over the glass, this time from Lehman. So we'll face it off at that same dot. Just the one penalty to the Indians so far. That's it as far as infractions are concerned. It was Hunter Ferguson's interference call very early on. The Indians are getting the fewest power play chances in Class AAA. They've only had 17. Strange. 17 through 8 games. It's just barely over 2 per game. That's not a lot. Lee on the bouncing play. Into that cross corner. Eric Wilbert over to Drew Wilbert. Lehman's backhand off the body of Guimond and wide. Good shot by the junior center. Wilbert couldn't flag it down. That was Drew, but Eric does. Over to Drew. Back to Eric behind the net. Bank pass. Finds Jake Bush shooting right into a couple of Bethel Park bodies. Vituccio ended up blocking that. Would have been tough to get that one through. Is now Barrett back at his own line. Knocks it ahead. Drew Wilbert helps it out. Bethel Park on the counterattack. On the chip play, McClendon avoided a hit, or at least the brunt of that hit. Jack Zakin looking to join the party here behind the PT goal as Bush extracted it, but it came right to Belly. Back to the point, and a shot and a stick save made by Wilbert. Bueller on it here. Bueller, after Worcester's shot went wide. From behind the goal, Vituccio tried to center but couldn't. And it's off a stick and into the home section, the cheering section, down to our left. So I mentioned Cannon Mac and Central Catholic up before the end of the calendar year for PT. As for Bethel Park, they'll play Cannon Mac. Not next week, though, but 2 weeks from tonight, right here at the Spencer Family YMCA. That's the 20th of December before they adjourn for the break. This is John Camp. Couldn't get by the checking of Worcester, that long stick, and offside here against PT as they put the puck right back in before McElhaney could clear the zone. John Camp wearing number 9, that is not his name, on the back of the jersey. He had tape on it for warm-up. I should have known something was up. He's wearing 43 on his helmet, which I imagine is the JV number for Mr. Camp. Bellet shot it off the bottom of the glove of Wilbert from the right circle. And now Camp tries to take this lead pass and could not. McElhaney saucered it about 2 feet in the air. Zakin unable to pull that out of skates, but McElhaney will. Good pass back to the line. Alexander's shot. Stick save by Guimond. Now a jam play for McElhaney. Can the Indians put it in? And is this a goal? Rick Tingle is yelling over to say that someone covered the puck in the crease and it wasn't the goalie. But that doesn't appear to be the call. And if it is covered by a skater in the crease, that's a penalty shot. But that's not the call from referee Steen. 11:06 to go in the second. The Indians lead the Blackhawks 2-0 here on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Facebook page. Glad to be with you. Our second year bringing you the road games for a PT. A lot of fun to see these different high school rinks across the metro area. This one not too far from South Point, of course. Just a few miles up the road. Ryan McClendon from behind his net. Overtaken by Jones. Jones a strong play to pull it free, but the puck rolled on him and he couldn't get it past to the front. Now he fed it to Lee. Shot it, didn't get through. Lee was run into by Abraham, who fell down. Now Lee with a chopping swing of the stick. Szymanski to Seekley, and ahead it goes as Seekley took a hard hit and he's slow to get up is Seekley. And Lucido was the one who put him down, and tough to tell what the issue is, but Seekley is down at the red line, and the emergency medical personnel is over to check on it. Lucido laid the check, and Seekley is up on his feet. Appears to be okay. I'm not even sure if that's upper body or lower body or what might have happened there. But Brady Seekley, the senior, in his return to the ice, third game of the season, has a goal on the board. And he's gotten a regular shift tonight. And he's going to get checked out here in the penalty box by the medical professional who helped him up. And we're back to live action here. 10 minutes to go in the second period. Peters Township leads it 2-0. Watsula to Lee. Right back to Nico Watsula, and the senior guides it up ahead. Down to our right, Jacob Lang. Played it off the wall. Anthos looked one way and now turns back the other. Good poise from Jeremy Anthos. He hooks up with Luppy, who let it deflect off his stick and into the offensive zone. Quickly cleared by Bethel Park, though. Juan Driscoll on the give, but the Blackhawks are offside as McClendon stepped up. That's Luke McClendon, the forward. Both goals in the first period in this game. We're about midway through regulation time now. We're in a freezing cold Spencer Family YMCA. The Blackhawks trying to cut into this lead. Bele centers, and a shot from Lucido. It didn't really get through, it appeared. And Wilbert ended up kicking that loose puck away, and now it's in front of the net. Wilbert lunging out, and Watsula takes it out and puts it to the line. Long shot on by Abraham of Bethel Park, and that's gloved down and held on to. Nothing further after Wilbert now adjusts his equipment after he went diving out of the net. Bethel Park was one of the few teams to outshoot Peters Township in the previous meeting. It was a 28-24 count in that regard, and I mentioned that the Blackhawks have been controlling territory very well. You can use the shot counter to tell you that. Indicator of where the game is being played, as Penguins coach Mike Sullivan likes to say a lot. It's true. But the territory hasn't led to any goals so far for BP, as Peters has been accurate on the counterattack. Alexander will skate back to retrieve this one for the Indians. Aiden Alexander against the grain pass over on the near side. Trying to find Wilbert there was Ferguson, and he could not. And, well, there is Alex Wilbert to make the save in net after the point shot was taken by Reed. Just 3 other games in Class AAA earlier this week. Central Catholic got a win. We'll get you that score in a moment as Wilbert makes this stop on the one-time drive from Worcester. Central Catholic beating Erie Cathedral Prep at home 6-4. That was on Tuesday. And I told you about Mount Lebo's big 8-2 win at South Point against Cannon Mac. One of the Blackhawks was sticked in the face inadvertently. That was Luke McClendon who went down, grabbing for his throat. That makes you wince, no doubt about it. But McClendon appears to be okay to go in there on the forecheck, and he helps create the turnover. Vituccio knocked it behind the goal. There is McClendon on the far side, 1v1 against Poon. McClendon won that race and put it right to the front, somewhat blindly, and it went right through the top of the crease. Here's Jack Zakin. The toss ahead, bouncing puck, get through Tomko, put on goal there on a reaching play by McElhaney. So give him credit for a shot and Guimond credit for a save as he had to stay with it. Worcester delaying a bit at the blue line, but the Blackhawks are onside. From back behind the goal, Lee wipes out a Blackhawk. Wondrisco the pass, and the shot was blocked from Belly. This drive got through from Worcester, and it's a pad save from Wilbert. Bouncing play out to the line and unable to hold it there were the Blackhawks. Bush to the near side, and Lee up ahead off the stick of Zakin, and it deflects down into the Blackhawk zone. Knocked around the wall, and here's Anthos, who went up in the air and took a hard hit, and actually he's holding his ankle now, is Anthos, as he was spun around on the check from Tomko, I believe it was, if I got the number right. And it's the second Indian to take a knock in the second period. 7:05 left in it. Getting close to 10 o'clock on this Thursday night. And, boy, I thought if Anthos was going to be hurt, it would be somewhere in the hip area. That looked like that's where he took the brunt of that hit, but apparently it's either his knee or his ankle, maybe his shin. And again, the medical staffer is being put to work here. She's untying the skate boot with Anthos still on the ice. And here comes Brady Seekley being escorted off to the locker room as Luppy will help him. So he'll go to the locker room early, and meanwhile, Jeremy Anthos is still down, sitting on the ice over on the far side of the rink. And the skate is off. At least trying to drag Anthos off the ice. He's going to wait now for help. So the right skate's off for Jeremy Anthos, the Indians' leading scorer. Both sides giving him a tap on the boards in appreciation for his efforts to at least rise to one skate. And he'll glide off here with the help of one of the referees and his teammate Ryan Lee. So, boy, a tough game so far for the Indians. They may have lost 2 players for the night. Brady Seekley just a moment ago, and now Jeremy Anthos. .705 left in the second. The Indians lead it 2-0 here at Bethel Park. And Lee helping out with the skate. You don't see that very often. The player leaves the skate on the ice, but it seemed like that was rather urgent. The Indians down 2 forwards at the moment. We're here at the Spencer Family YMCA at Bethel Park for this Pittsburgh Hockey Digest broadcast of PIHL Class AAA hockey. The faceoff will come just outside the Blackhawks line. Owen Barrett for the Indians, backhanding it in deep. And we're back to second period action. Wilbert looks over his shoulder, waiting for his defenseman Bush to get back there for it. So you wonder what the strategy will be for Coach Rick Tingle. As Luppy blocks this shot from the point, taken by Jacob Lang, and the Indians clear. Down to 6.5 to go in the second. Bush tapped it ahead, but it's pushed right back behind him by Toth. Drew Wilbert carried it, played it, and Luppy tried to kick it ahead but could not. Watsula unable to get in over the line. Bush shot it hard off the dasher board, and he can't keep in after the clear from Bethel Park. Austin Reed taking it back. Overtaken by Watsula. Good job there on the back check. This was going to be offside against BP, but now the Indians have some time. Bush ran into some trouble. Did nudge it out over the blue line. And Barrett has to go back for it. Barrett hard off the wall over to Luppy, who did well to control. Wilbert galloping down right wing. Drew Wilbert behind the net. Luppy, so it's Drew Wilbert, Luppy, and Watsula, the line out there right now. Drew Wilbert replacing Jeremy Anthos, who was just recently injured. Definitely could say that was a lower body hit. Long shot from out near the blue line by Vituccio, and Wilbert wants to hold on with 5:32 left in the second period. And we'll take a longer break for the second intermission for the ice to be resurfaced, as we usually do. 2 17-minute periods and then an extended timeout. Camp and Lee are your goal scorers. That is John Camp, his first varsity game, scoring his first varsity goal. Might have been his first shift even, in fact, on the rebound of McElhaney's shot. So Dylan McElhaney, the sophomore, gets his third varsity point and second assist. Alexander shoots this one, and Guimond, who hasn't seen some action in a while, has that stick to his equipment, and he had to pull it out of his pad, in fact, with his bare hand. Did the Blackhawks goalie. 5:12 remaining in the second. This play bogs down here a bit. Plenty of stoppages. And now the second line is McElhaney on the left wing, Eric Wilbert on the right, and Mark Lehman in the middle. Just two full forward lines available right now for Indians coach Rick Tingle, as Wilbert swats this one away from the side of his net. On the take back is Lehman, stretching out with those long strides. Lehman shoots one, down low, loose puck. Where is it? At the side of the net. It's still free. Lehman has it, and his backhand pass avoids Alexander at the point. 4:30 to go in the second period. Lehman takes this pass, but he was bumped by a couple of Blackhawks. Still 2-0 Peters Township. No goals in this second period. No penalties in this second period either. So now it's playing to type. The two least penalized teams in Class AAA playing a pretty clean game. Pretty fierce game, too. Good intensity on this late 9 o'clock start. Getting close to 4 to go in the second. McElhaney reaches to take that pass, and in the snow in front of the benches, he couldn't get much on that play ahead. Back with it, Vituccio. Vincent Vituccio, 8 goals on the season, wanted to deke to the middle, but Alexander got a stick in there to knock it away. A fine stick check from the first-year varsity defenseman, Aiden Alexander. Wilbert holds up the puck at the side of his goal. And there is Alexander, the junior, to take it. The right-handed shooter looks up ice, finds Cole Szymanski, kicks it to Jack Zakin. McElhaney double shifting right now, and he'll come off quickly in favor of Jones. Bellet cuts in, though, and fires. Wilbert made the save. Loose puck behind him, and where is it? It's under him as he falls on top of it, and now we finally get the whistle as sticks and gloves come up at the side of the net. Players separated. Alex Wilbert out of his net, and acrobatic as that puck ended up behind him for just a split second. But he's done well in this game. In his first start in a while, to get into the swing of things. He is one of the difference makers tonight. No doubt about that. Zakin made the play ahead, and he stepped out of a check. That actually reminded of the Jeremy Anthos play where he got sideswiped and led to him leaving this game. Lee's backhand. He couldn't get it past Tomko, but then he crushes Tomko, does Lee, with a shoulder check. But here's Tomko poking it to the middle. got it free for a shot, or could take a shot, but he elected to keep it, and then it's poked off his stick, and it's a penalty against Peters Township. Just our second whistle of this game for an infraction, and for the second time, it's against the visiting team. The Indians will go short. Ryan Lee off for a slash on Tomko as he tried to make a move to the middle and did successfully. So with 2:58 left in the second, Bethel Park has a chance to cut this lead in half if it can convert. BP's power play coming into this game, 4 for 19, now 4 for 20. Long-range shot saved by Wilbert. The rebound was available, but cracked out of danger by Jeffrey Poon. So 20% even on the season for Bethel Park. Still one of the top man advantage units in this league. Juan Driscoll rounds the goal. Made the backhand play out to Luke McClendon. Skipped it right past his brother Ryan. Now here is Ryan at the point, shooting. The save by Wilbert. Loose puck at the side. It comes out the far side now, and a big drive hit a body. That was blocked by Luppy. Good job to get in front of that slapper from Luke McClendon, and it's lifted off the ceiling here by the Indians. So that'll keep them from killing more clock. And it'll also pull the faceoff back into Indians territory. And Wilbert appears to be limping a bit in net. Trying to shake off a stinger. Of course, that second shot was blocked. Luppy getting in the way to help out his goaltender on the penalty kill. Indians are 1 for 1 on killing off penalties so far, and they're just about halfway through this one. Just about 2 minutes to go in the second period. Big scrum for the puck. It's still pinned against the boards, and Eric Wilbert finds it. Wilbert behind the net, gave it away though. Centered in front, and a score! Bethel Park gets the goal. Toth pops it home from right out in front. Nothing Wilbert could do, and it's 2-1 with 1:52 to go in the second period. Give Belly the assist from behind the net, and give Toth his third goal of the season to make it a 1-goal game on the power play. So Lee's slashing penalty ends up helping Bethel Park get back into it here as Juan Driscoll hops ahead, but it's knocked off his stick at the last moment. Power play goal for Bethel Park. That is just the Blackhawks' 4th of the season, but they've converted now, or pardon, 5th of the season, but they've converted on 5 of 21. Wilbert again with the puck at his feet, and he'll pin it between his pads with 1:31 to go in the second period. Now 2-1. So Bethel Park has the only goal of this second period so far. 91 seconds to go in it. Bellet off the scramble draw. It's still loose and tossed out of the zone by Lee. It'll stop short of the icing line. Picked up in stride by Bueller. Bounced it around on the far side, and a fine job over there to take it cleanly by Tomko. Right back in the possession of the Indians, and they push it back to the Bethel Park zone. That dump in eludes Lee, though. Indians backtrack here. Vituccio wanted to put it in front. Could not. Under 1 minute to go. It's in front of the net, and a little toe drag move comes up empty for Tomko of Bethel Park. Here's Watsula putting it in front. Save made, rebound, and put on goal and stopped. McElhaney got the shot off, and a good save from Guimond on the counter for the Indians. Looked very promising. And what's the call here? Is it offside? I believe it is. With John Camp reaching to try to take that pass, and Luppy saying, hey, behind the play, we thought we had a penalty against Bethel Park, but nothing called. Someone took a late hit back there. I only saw it out of the corner of my eye, so I couldn't quite tell. Lehman to take the draw. 38 seconds remaining in the second period. On the tie-up here, it comes loose for Drew Wilbert to shoot into the near side corner. Now under 30 seconds. Wilbert bodies up Toth, the goal scorer for Bethel Park. Worcester, the high lift into the Peters Township bench. And that'll keep it in the offensive zone for the Indians. 21 seconds. left in this frame. 2-1 Indians. Lehman to take the face off. He has Wilbert in the slot and Luppy right behind him, but Lehman couldn't win this draw, and it's lifted all the way down the ice by Belly, and we'll do it again from that same dot after the icing call. "33 shots for Bethel Park, just 16 for PT, but the Indians keep a 2-1 lead. Luppy banged it behind the goal. Drew Wilbert here at the half wall. From the hash marks, hands off to Luppy, has an open man far side, and Wilbert's stick broke on him. And he flings it over to the far side wall in frustration. A great chance. Time expires. Indians came oh so close a couple of times to making it a 3-1 lead, but after 34 minutes of play from the Spencer Family YMCA in Bethel Park, it's the Indians on the road up 2-1 against the homestanding Blackhawks. Back for the third period and maybe more after this break on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Facebook page. Back for the third period from the Spencer Family YMCA in Bethel Park. I am Matt Geika bringing you the play-by-play tonight. Rinkside, Peters Township looking for its fifth straight win, leads Bethel Park 2-1, but the Blackhawks of Bethel Park struck back with a late second period goal to make this one very interesting going into the third. And now Belly turns the corner and shoots, and Wilbert has to make his 33rd save on his 34th shot against. 34 matching his jersey number. Alex Wilbert getting a workout tonight. Peters Township in the red, traditional traveling uniforms, although they didn't wear it the last time on the road out at Seneca Valley. Last time we had a road game at least was that matchup up in Warrendale. This time they're back in the red, taking on the Philadelphia Flyers-looking uniforms of Bethel Park. Last Western Pennsylvania championship for Bethel Park was 2011-12. Now bounced up ahead, swatted out of the air by McElhaney. In fact, he's having a strong game as Mr. Dylan McElhaney, the sophomore. He has an assist in this game. He set up John Camps for his varsity goal in the first period as the Indians scored twice in the first to play against type this season. The first has been their trouble spot. Now they'll try to keep up their third period scoring pace, but now they have to defend here as McClendon shot out just wide from the slot, and he ripped that one on the rebound off the shoulder of Wilbert. Two really good chances for Luke McClendon with Belly in tow. Nico Watsula from the sideboards tried to slug it to the front and couldn't get it there. Just about over a minute gone in this third period, icing against Bethel Park. The Blackhawks have lost two straight. Coming into this game, they had played 3 of 4 on the road, had the Blackhawks, and now they'll have 2 in a row at home going into the holiday break tonight and then 2 weeks from tonight against Ken and Mac. Drew Wilbert turned the shot toward the net, but it was blocked. But the Indians take this puck again and control it. Cross rink, Alexander wristed one. He flubbed it a bit and it went over the crossbar. A fine cross rink pass, though, from Eric Wilbert. Ferguson shooting, on-line save made, rebound burped up into the slot and taken on by Vince Vituccio of Bethel Park. Alexander gloves it down and lifted it just over the stick of Vituccio, who was hit there up high from Eric Wilbert. 2 Indians players went out in that second period due to injury. We'll get to that in a moment as Vituccio snaps it over the top of the net. From the right circle, Alexander tracking it down in this near corner. Yes, the angle is quite low tonight from the Spencer Family YMCA. Drew Wilbert making a couple of dekes in the neutral zone and now settles down a rolling puck. His backhand to the front off the stick of Alexander and all the way over to the far side boards at Karams. Chasing back to get it as Poon. He can't win that race as he fell down. Centering play by Lucido was blocked and intercepted by Szymanski. Good job from Cole Szymanski, first-year varsity player. Poon's on the puck here. Looks up, feeds it to Zakin, who tips it ahead. The Indians appear to still be without Anthos and Seekley, both of whom went out due to injuries in that second period. Zakin's far side shot was redirected wide of the net. Good chance, though, for Jones in front of the goal to put it on target. Shots are 34-18 with Bethel Park having the advantage. Belly, the elusive one, his backhand play was fended off the side of the net by Wilbert as Lee kept Belly to the outside. Belly plays on the Pittsburgh Predators PAHL team on the weekends, the amateur club. He has several teammates on that team who play for Peters Township, including the injured Anthos. Poon tosses this one high into the air, and it bounces down just beyond the goal line in the Bethel Park zone. That's an icing call against Peters Township. Chris Toth scored the only Bethel Park goal to this moment. That was late in the second period with 1:53 to go before intermission. Belly had the assist. He now has 13 points, one shy of Johnny McDonald of Cannon McMillan for the Class AAA lead in PIHL play this year. Vituccio yanks it back to Wondrisco, who drags and shoots, and he missed the net. Belly, Wondrisco, and Vituccio, the high-powered top line for the Blackhawks out there right now. The slapper from the point, and Bueller, he couldn't get it to the net through bodies. Watsula made a swinging stick check, but couldn't keep the puck away from the Blackhawks as Belly wanted to one-time it from the side of the net, but couldn't do it. Now Belly swings it over to Ryan McClendon. Couldn't get the shot through. Luppy, who winces and bends over a bit in some pain. Watsula could not clear on the backhand, but here comes Watsula to take it right back, and the Indians could have a chance on the counter, but McElhaney can't take the pass, and now, way back behind the play, the whistle sounds. A Blackhawk, Vituccio, is on top of, is that Hunter Ferguson, I think, number 78 for Peters Township, with 12:39 left in this third period. Ferguson appears to be okay. The Indians can scarcely afford to lose any more players. They haven't lost a defenseman, though. Ferguson, the first-year varsity blue liner, is okay, and in fact, he's going to the penalty box, and he's not the only one to go to the box, though. Vituccio will also serve a penalty, and so it appears there will be no power play for either side. Two players tangled up in this 2-1 Peters Township advantage. Cliff Bumford, the assistant coach for PT, yelling something at one of the referees. So Lehman will skate over to take this face-off for Peters Township against Austin Reed, and Reed drew it back cleanly. And Lee laid a high check there on one of the Blackhawks in front of the Peters Township bench, and that'll be a penalty. Lucido took the worst of it. Lee's about to go to the box, and this will be a Bethel Park power play with a chance to tie the game. Didn't hear the call with 12:32 left in regulation time, but it doesn't really matter. It's a 2-minute penalty, and it'll put the Indians short for the third time in this game. Here comes the call. Well, these are the previous calls. Ferguson 2 for holding. Vince Vituccio gets 2 for holding as well. So we'll wait on the call to Ryan Lee. Lehman will get to this bouncing puck and clear it down after Wilbert made the save initially on the point drive from McClendon. Luke McClendon's lead pass finds Wondrisco. Back to Reed. Cross-rink dish. Belay sets it up for Bethel Park. Down 2-1. Bouncing shot toward the front. It hopped over the top of the net. You don't see that too often. Like a super ball, it went toward the crease. Lee gets 2 for interference, so that's the call. Calling Lee for the hit on a man who didn't touch the puck, apparently. Luke McClendon, cross-rink, Belly shooting, redirected. Wilbert made the save, and he pins it down to the ice. Good stuff from Alex Wilbert with 11:47 left in the third. 1:16 to go on Ryan Lee's minor penalty. Lee's in the box for the second time tonight. He scored what, as of right now, is the go-ahead goal, the decisive goal in the final moments of the first period, getting his own rebound and roofing it from the side of the net. Belly, the give back. Luke McClendon slapper, blocked in front by Barrett and swatted down at least to the red line by Eric Wilbert. Luke McClendon gains the zone, pulls it around Barrett, but there's Drew Wilbert to take that puck and look for his brother on the far side, but it's too far for him to take. Belay to the point. Ryan McClendon to Luke McClendon, shooting off a body, maybe a stick, as we heard a click over here in the stands. Barrett wanting to dig it free, cannot, in front of the net. Belay couldn't get the shot off. Good stick checking by Eric Wilbert to prevent that chance. But turning shot from Reed hit a man in front. Barrett down on hands and knees, made the block. And Drew Wilbert slings it down the rink. A half minute to go on this Bethel Park power play. Indians still up 2-1. Peters Township's won 4 in a row, looking for 5. Drew Wilbert dispossessed of the puck at the Bethel Park line. Lead pass from Belay. Finds Tomko, but his wrister again blocked by the Indians. Barrett got in the way that time. And another hand up in the air, and another penalty on the way. Is it too many men on the ice? That looked to be the call. And it's going to be against Peters Township again. So Bethel Park gets a 4th power play. And actually, it'll be a 5-on-3 for 7 seconds. Drew Wilbert's going to serve it. It is too many men on the ice. Aiden Alexander chasing after that puck, down to 2 seconds to go in the first period. That was a clutch face-off win by Poon. Stick comes loose. One of the Indians lost a twig. That's Alexander. It's a 5-on-4 now. Lehman on the ice, and Lehman gets the intercept. Luppy gets the clear. Tense moments down to our right with Peters protecting that 1-goal lead. Luppy might have a chance here, shorthanded. Luppy shoots. Save Guimond, his first stop in a long time. The Indians have been pinned down because of the penalties against them, consecutive minor penalties issued. This is the second one. Vituccio snapped it wide on the carry and over the blue line. Lehman, good job to body up on Driscoll and take the puck and crack it out to the red line. Luke McClendon gains the zone again for the Blackhawks. Bethel Park down 2-1, 35 shots on net for the home team, but just the 1 goal. Back in the second period, it comes free for Poon to chop out on a bouncing puck. Luppy tied up Ryan McClendon. Here's one Driscoll centering. Vituccio put it just wide off the cross slot pass. Vituccio, the Bethel Park captain, good pass here. Finds Ryan McClendon, shot it off the blocker hand, and now a wrister off the side of the net from Vituccio. Ryan McClendon blasted one. Luppy kicked it away to the corner. Lehman couldn't swat it out, but it does go out over the perimeter of the glass and off the aluminum siding. So that'll at least stop play and allow the Indians to get a change with 31 seconds to go on power play number 4 for Bethel Park. 9:08 left in the third. Watsula swings away to the sideboards, does get the puck over there, but here's a quick entry. Belly taking the cross-rink feed from Ryan McClendon, but his shot was blocked by Ferguson. Worcester gunning one off a stick, and that bangs off the end boards. 15 seconds to go on this power play. Worcester the pass over for Ryan McClendon to shoot high and wide of the net. Ferguson tapped it ahead, couldn't get it past Belay. Bottom edge of the right circle, centering pass goes past Toth. It was that combination that led to the first goal for Bethel Park. Indians are back at full strength. Here comes Eric Wilbert down the right side. Shot, blocker, save. Rebound, Drew Wilbert can't get to it in time before it's knocked away from him by Ryan McClendon. J.C. Belay yanks it to his forehand, and he shot it off the stick of Ferguson again. Hunter Ferguson gets the better of the Blackhawks' leading scorer and deflects it out of play with 8:23 to go in regulation time. Action coming fast and furious in this third. No goals yet in this final period, though. Nearing 10:30 p.m. Late night hockey on this Thursday. Only game of the night in Class AAA. Earlier in the week, we saw first place North Allegheny get a win against Butler. Also Mount Lebo collecting a victory. Trying to put one in front, Luke Schreiner of Bethel Park. As we're back to 5-on-5 at long last, John Camp's lead pass. Finds Jones. Jones wanted to pull to the middle. Szymanski charging the net. Hunting that loose puck, but couldn't get there in time. John Camp, in his first varsity game, made the play to the corner. Jones was put down on his backside. No penalty coming up. The Indians have not had a power play all night. 0 for 0 is Peters Township. And, well, the trend continues. They've had the fewest power play chances in this league this year so far. Now at the midway point of the season, or we will be after tonight's game is over. 2-1 Peters Township still. Joseph Wandrisco takes the pass, but Poon cleans him out. Barrett, right around the wood, over to the far side. Vituccio couldn't shoot it. Gets it right back, though, from McClendon. Shot it again. That was blocked, and it hurt Poon, who's now limping to try to get to the middle of the ice at least. Vituccio shot again, and Wilbert made the save. And McElhaney sends it out of the zone, off the boards. Luke McClendon. Drop pass. Vituccio, one-timer, kicked out by Wilbert. And McElhaney sends down again. 6:42 to go in the third period. Peters Township up 2-1. Watsula to McElhaney. 2-on-2 rush. Gets stymied there before it even got to the blue line, though. Dylan McElhaney now gets a stick out and nearly deflected it over to his teammate Luppy. McElhaney, Luppy, and Watsula, the makeshift first line right now, is leading scorer Jeremy Anthos and Brady Seekley, the senior, both out due to injuries suffered in the second period. Rick Tingle is going to have to get creative, and he has been creative, to get the forward lines into some sort of working order. And then, of course, the Indians have been short for much of this third period. Wilbert goes back forward. He won't have to. It's icing against the Blackhawks. 6:06 remaining. Our next broadcast on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Facebook page will be next Tuesday, another 9 o'clock special against Cannon McMillan for Peters Township. Turned on net blindly by Lehman. That'll be a shot on goal and a save made. Nick Guimond got his stick down to keep it out. Not the hardest of shots, but definitely sneaky from Lehman. 6 goals on the year. One behind Luppy for the team lead. In front of the net, Drew Weber got one shot and he couldn't get the second as the rebound bounced away from him. Good chance out of seemingly nothing. That dump in hit a partition. That's home ice advantage for the Blackhawks. Out they come again. Lucido put it in behind the goal. One of the Indians wiped out. That's Ferguson. No call. Play continues. Lehman takes a bump from Tompo. It can't clear. Blocked by Lee in front. Loose at the side of the net. Wilbert makes the stop and holds. Lucido got that last chance, or maybe it was Bele actually at the side of the net, who's now chatting it up with Eric Wilbert. Eric a few inches shorter, but not short of courage there, talking to Bele. And both players will head off to their respective benches. Puck dropped quickly. I'm not sure both teams had finished their changes. These referees are ready to get home, I think. John Camp leans in. Good physical play there in front of the penalty box area. Owen Barrett's backhand goes right through Jones and down the ice. No icing call. 5:15 left in the third period. Can the Indians get an insurance goal? Poked up the wall. Barrett keeps, puts it on net. It never got through. In behind the net, Camp. On his backhand, Jones shoved it to the side of the net. Hit the frame. Back there again, Jones and Camp digging away, but they can't pry it free. And here's Toth collecting for Bethel Park. Over to Ryan McClendon. Hammers it out the center, right past the outstretching Sean Merkel. Gets a rare shift here. Merkel and Austin Reed on the forecheck here for Bethel Park. Toth steps up. Toth put it toward the net. Hit a stick, maybe a skate. Aiden Alexander picks up the loose puck. 4.5 left in regulation. The feed off for Jones at the perfect time, but Jones couldn't lift it beyond the reach of Jacob Lang, the Bethel Park defenseman. But here's Luppy back on the back check to take it back. Szymanski knocked it over on near side. Good move from Vituccio to the middle. Couldn't get the shot off as Poon put the stick in the way to block it. So many block shots in this third period for Peters Township. Bethel Park's had the lion's share of the puck possession. especially during those back-to-back power plays, of course. McElhaney couldn't get a stick on that. Clear around, then it'll be an icing against the Indians. .358 remaining. Shots on goal now 39 for Bethel Park and 22 for Peters Township. It's 6 apiece, surprisingly, though, in this third. I mentioned all the blocked shots, and well, that's where that is coming through, is on the shot counter. The Indians have blocked at least 6 or 7. Watsula takes the chip play. It's a 2-on-1 with McElhaney. Watsula cutting in, firing, and he just missed the top right corner. Good idea as the defender sagged away from him. And it was a grade A scoring chance for Nico Watsula, but he couldn't bury. Still 2-1. Loose inside the Bethel Park zone. McElhaney swings away and puts the puck at least into the low slot for a moment. This is Vituccio for Bethel Park. The Blackhawks captain turned it in deep. Poon couldn't usher it up the wall. Bele ran into trouble. Watsula clears. Forced right back into the mix by the Blackhawks. Lee, savvy little pass over to Poon. Now McElhaney gave it away in the neutral zone, but it came right back to him. Good break. McElhaney tries again, and this time simply guns it down the rink, and that'll be an icing. 2:59 remaining in the third. And McElhaney getting some instruction there from Coach Tingle on where he might want to go with that breakout pass next time in that situation. And, of course, Bethel Park's jumping everything, so you have to be extra safe with these passes. Ferguson might have gotten away with one as Tomko went tumbling down. No penalty called. The power plays are 4-0 in favor of Bethel Park. That might have had some influence there. Drew Wilbert carrying all the way into the offensive zone. Couldn't get it past Lang. Lang takes, slams on the brakes, fires it over to Worcester, right back to his defense partner Lang. 2.5 left. Lang's flushed out by Lehman. Loose puck now in the circle, and it squirts out to center. Ferguson knocks it off the boards. Lehman helps it further. In behind the goal. Jacob Lang tried to clear it. He got some help there to get it out, and down it goes. Schreiner on the chase for Bethel Park, but Aiden Alexander is going to win that. Alexander, a good move to the forehand to get past Reed. Alexander all the way into the offensive zone. He's stripped of the puck, though, as he cut into the slot. Eric Wilbert kicks it to the center of the ice. 2 minutes to go in the third period. Peters Township holding on to this 2-1 lead. Wilbert makes the save on the floating shot from Bele, and then Bele runs right through the crease, and Lehman gives him a cross-check, and we'll see if anything comes of this. That was the 40th shot for the Blackhawks, and just one has gotten by Alex Wilbert, who's been super tonight. The goalie's out for Bethel Park. Nick Guimond is on the bench. 6 attackers for the Blackhawks. Jim McVeigh going to the last resort option with 1:54 on the clock. And the faceoff's won by Bethel Park's Toth. Bele shoots, glove save by Wilbert. Nothing further from that. Bele put that one accurately on line. It almost looked like he wasn't even looking at the net when you score as often as he does. In his varsity career and in his amateur hockey career, maybe you don't even have to look from the top of the circle. Late change here, and I think referee Steen is going to wave someone back onto the ice. A lot of talk between the benches now. Steen saying that Thomas Worcester has to stay on the ice here, and he will change immediately after the puck is dropped. It's flipped up into the air. Luppy got it over the line. Here's McElhaney, but he can't drag it to the neutral zone. Wilbert wanted to play it away from his net, as you saw there on your screen, and he whiffed on it, so he has to jump on top of it right at the top of the blue paint. Again, empty net down to the left. Bethel Park in desperation mode. Lee clears it past the stick of one of the Blackhawks. Here comes Luppy with the empty net. He scores! Ryan Luppy makes it 3-1, and the Indians are looking good to pick up their 5th consecutive win. Give me fuel, give me fire. Luppy just guides it in for his 8th of the season, his easiest goal of the season, but a pretty big one. The empty netter makes it 3-1, and Peters gets its first bit of offense since way back in the first period. Lee with the clear, it hopped over the stick of Ryan McClendon, and from there, it was fundamental for the Indians captain, Ryan Luppy, the senior. Picks up his 8th goal and his 12th point. Watch out as this puck slipped off the top of the glass and right in our direction. And, nearly took out one of the healthy scratches down to my right for Peters Township. So 3-1, Peters Township on the empty netter, 1:23 left in regulation time. Center ice draw here. The net is still empty down to my left. So the Indians can perhaps pad some point totals, but remember, game's not over yet. Still more than 60 seconds to go in this one. 68 to be exact right now. Drew Wilbert on the chase, but back for it first, Juan Driscoll of Bethel Park. Vituccio played it behind himself to try to gain entry to the zone, but could not. Wilbert with a strong back check through the middle. Lee looks for that empty net, shoots it down the rink, and it's off the glove of Ryan McClendon. McClendon, who couldn't hold that Lee clear that led to the Luppy empty net goal. 45 seconds left in the third period. Lee shoves up the far side wall. Bellet took a strong check from Lehman, and now Lehman's going to skate ahead with it. Maybe a chance to put it in the net. Lehman shoots and scores! Another empty netter. And that'll close up shop from the Spencer Family YMCA. It's 4-1. Peters Township with 33 seconds remaining. The 7th goal of the year for the junior centerman, Mark Lehman. He hits the bullseye from the right wing boards, just about halfway down in the offensive zone. So 2 empty net goals, 1 for Luppy, 1 for Lehman. And that'll polish this one off for the Indians, who are surging, about to get their 5th straight win and improve to 7-2 and complete the first half of the regular season on the trot. Aiden Alexander kicks down this dump in. Right back to Worcester at the red line. Offside are the Blackhawks, down to 12 seconds. Nico Watsula's going for the empty net. Yes, the net is still empty. Glove down at center red by Worcester and shot in. Aiden Alexander looks up. He just wants to get out of dodge with this one. He feeds it over to McElhaney and time expires. Indians win 4-1 here at Bethel Park, picking up their 3rd road victory. 2 goals in the first, 2 in the third. They're both in the empty net, but the Indians continue their third period scoring pace. They've now outscored their opponents 18-6 in the final frame this season. Our next broadcast, Peters Township challenges Cannon McMillan for the 3rd time this year as PT goes for the clean sweep of its South Hills rival. That's at Prinscape Arena, 9 o'clock next Tuesday, December the 11th. The 2 teams shake hands at center ice here. Bethel Park drops its 3rd in a row, falling to 5-4. That's the first loss on home ice for the Blackhawks